A very good morning to everybody. Calling here from a lovely sunny Cork down in the south of Ireland where our StorageCraft office is. You're all very welcome to this 15-minute overview of our cloud products. Today it's going to be about StorageCraft Cloud Services. If you have any questions, we've just got 15 minutes, but you can pop them down into the chat. If you can't hear me, or indeed you can't see my screen, you might just let me know now as well using the chat facility in your webinar view. As I said, my name is John Brennan, and you're all very welcome. Cloud Services is basically, if you like, the ability to replicate our on-premise SPX backups into our cloud services. Now, there are other places that you can replicate to. You can replicate to a private cloud as well, not just our cloud services, but obviously you can replicate also directly to our cloud services from Image Manager. We'll be taking a look at how you do that a bit later on. SPX needs to be installed on all of your environment, every virtual and physical machine, of course, and then obviously using your Image Manager, you'll then perform the replication. We'll go through that a little bit later, if you like. So cloud services features. So this is just a quick kind of overview. It's probably a little cluttered as to exactly what's required. You have your local network, your Shadow Protect clients, your Image Manager client, your StorageCraft Cloud, your primary data center, secondary data center, replication to the cloud, seeding the cloud, mirroring data. That's not available in EMEA at the moment. Recovering files and folders via browser and recovering systems and data by requesting a BMR disk. So we have 3 subscription levels. Those 3 levels are Cloud Basic, Cloud Plus, and Cloud Premium. Cloud Basic allows you to archive the critical business backups. Cloud Plus is everything in Cloud Basic plus immediate file and folder recovery as well. And then Cloud Premium, everything in Cloud Plus, and instant virtualization of systems and failover in the cloud. So of all of these services, which is the one obviously I'm going to promote most, it's Cloud Premium, because that's really where we're giving you bang for your buck, if you like. This is where we're spinning up machines in the cloud in the event of a machine or indeed a site outage on the customer site. We also have different retention tiers. So we have retention tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, or indeed retention flex option if those specific retention tiers are not to your requirement. So what do you require to replicate to our cloud? Well, you'll need Image Manager version 6.7.2 or newer. You should already be on the latest version of Image Manager. It's free to download and install. Shadow Protect version 5.2.3 or newer. Continuous incremental backup jobs which are encrypted. So if you have a customer out there that has not got encrypted images and you want to get them to the cloud, what you'll do is you'll just archive all of the jobs, set up a new job with encryption, and then put them up into the cloud. You can replicate to the cloud then from that point on. Recommended, obviously, Shadow Protect SPX, run the latest version of Image Manager 7 and start a new backup chain when you're going into the cloud. So creating a cloud services account, you have your MSP cloud services accounts which are created in the MSP portal. Add one account for every customer. The customer can access cloudservices.storagecraft.com, so you can set up an account and you can limit exactly what that customer can see and do, and they access then using cloudservices.storagecraft.com. All other accounts are created from cloudstoragecraft.com, and then cloud account credentials are used for replication target in Image Manager. So you're going to have that cloud account set up in the cloud first before you go to Image Manager to replicate to the cloud, right? So creating a replication target, you create the cloud replication target, you select the replication type. In this case, it's always going to be StorageCraft Cloud Services. You select the location, the type, which will be the StorageCraft Cloud Services. The transport security you can use is SSL or indeed SSH. Use cloud account credentials. That's where you're going to need those. Select the replication mode then. Consolidated or unconsolidated. Select the service level and select the retention as well. So that's where you go into your location, select your services, your name, your security, and then use your cloud authentication from your account that you've set up that you're going to be replicating this server to. So managing your cloud images, each device is managed separately. Okay, you can modify retention settings and you can change the service level within 7 days per device. After that, a minimum of 7 days for changes applied at the next billing cycle. So if you make a mistake, if you put them on the wrong service level, for instance, you put them on basic when you should have been in premium, you can change that within 7 days. If you don't change that within 7 days, the next billing cycle, that won't be grayed out. It'll allow you to go and change that again, and again, you'll have another 7 days from that point on. So requesting a seed drive, this is really done on through a form on your web portal, but seeding to cloud services, you can create a replication target without a seed drive. Files from that point are replicated to the cloud, wait in the temporary folder until seeded. In other words, you're not going to see them up there until the seed drive has arrived and then is actually included in the backup chain, and then we'll present you all of the restoration points. Okay, when the C drive arrives, edit the replication target, select cloud settings, select the drive letter assigned to the C drive, select save. The drive seeded at that point when the target was actually created. So let's have an actual look at what all of this looks like. Let's start with our image manager. And as I said, with image manager, what you're going to have to do is set up your replication job, select your StorageCraft Cloud Services, select your location. If it's a new location, obviously you'll enter in your name and enter in the credentials that you set up in your cloud account. After that's done, it'll just start replicating to the cloud. If we go to our cloud services here, let's talk about this for a bit. Obviously this is the key management area, and just as an aside, by the way, this is why our MSP partners love this product. You can go in and you can literally go and create keys as you like. You can create them, you can add them, you can delete them, you can pretty much if you like, manage the whole environment as you see fit without as much as an email or a call to us. You assign your licenses, you activate and deactivate as you see fit, as I said. Let's go into our cloud services here and let's have a quick look here at a specific machine. Let's go into this account actually. Before we go any further, one of the really great selling points of this product is the fact that you can have everything set up prior to an event. Okay, so you'll have your networking set up, you'll have your subnet, you'll have your IPsec set up. Okay, you'll have your IP addresses assigned, and you can network them back and map them back to a public IP address. You'll have all of this set up. Or do you want them to be DHCP? Do you want them to be DHCP reserved? You have all of this set up. And then we have this virtual machine policy which we've created, which enables you to drop in machines and to create dependencies within your restoration environment. So you may want your DC to come up first, then your SQL environment, then your file servers, etc. in that order, in which case you can do all of that. We also allow you to do this, which is check here if this is a real failover. Now, if it's a real failover, it just means then that we're actually going to snapshot these machines every hour. When you perform your restore then on site, it means that you can point towards that cloud account and add the subsequent incrementals that were created by the virtual machines while they were up and running while the outage was occurring. As I said, within your networking, you set up your IPsec. So again, this can be all set up and tested, okay, from the local site or from the alternative site that's going to be used in the event of a full site outage. If you wish to use OpenVPN, you can do so as well. You can add your users and you can set up your VPN here. And all of this, as I said, can be tested before the event. I had a recent conversation with somebody who's using a third-party cloud, and it's in the event of an actual outage that suddenly they began to understand then that to actually store the data up there by the vendor was actually quite cheap. It was like 4 cents a gig, okay? To actually get that data back, though, was a completely different story. They had to pay for the VPN. They had to pay for the format in which they wanted that data restored by. And then they had to go through the process of actually downloading it, okay? All of the time, it's the customer at the end of the line who's not working. I mean, all of this is taking time. All of this is taking maybe half a day or a day, depending on the quantity of data that needs to come off a third-party cloud. You'll notice that with our system, especially with the Platinum solution, you're spinning up machines. Okay, you're spinning them up there. So in the event of an outage, you spin up those machines and have them there. This is where you request your C drive, etc. It's fairly self-explanatory and easy to understand. If I go into more cloud services here, and what we can do is we can pretty much do, let's start with maybe a file and a folder. So there's a snapshot. I'm just going to mount that snapshot here. I'm going to put in my password here and mount it. So this is in the event of somebody needing to do file and folder restore from the actual cloud. And I'm going to go into my file here and I'm just going to get a desktop.ini, which is quite small, just to give you an idea as to how you would actually go about doing this. You would then download it. I would just authorize unauthenticated here. And then what will happen is it'll actually go down and present me with the actual file that I need, which is my desktop.ini file. So that's how we produce a file and folder. Restore in the cloud. However, it may not be a file and folder issue that's at fault. We may need to actually go and to spin up an actual machine. Again, even on a single machine, I have the ability to set a real failover. I'll enter in my password. Remember, you need all of the images to be, if you like, encrypted. And it will start virtualizing in the cloud now. So if this is an actual failover, as I said, I would be ticking that button. With our restore environment, you're able to go in now and you're able to point towards, if you like, all of the subsequent incrementals that have been created during this period of time that the machine is out. And it just means then that you're not losing any data. It means then that you're capturing all of that data, even though, you know, it's up in the cloud, it's spun up, we're still capturing any changes that occurs to that data up in the cloud. It would just go through the process of virtualizing now. And when it does come up then, obviously, as I said, if it's a failover, an actual failover, I will have been able to have previously tested all of the networking from the client site. If it's an alternate client site or an existing client site, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to be able to go in and to go and test that whole environment prior to any event occurring. Unfortunately, with a third-party cloud solution, that isn't always the case. With a third-party cloud solution, you may be left with a situation whereby you're waiting quite some hours even before you have the data down. So it's not true disaster recovery like we're offering in the cloud. And this is the big differentiator with us. So there's your machine. It's just coming up now in the cloud, and literally from the moment that the customer has contacted me, the partner, it is just literally taking a couple of moments. As I said, all of this should be tested in advance. I will know that if I send them to site 2 or over to the Access BDR, for instance, I will be able to connect over the VPN to this machine. And again, that should be something that should be tested well in advance. Once the machine is up, everyone has access to it. We can actually be snapshotting it, capturing all of those changes. And as I said, when the bare metal restore occurs on the local site, well, then we're just adding the subsequent incrementals to that bare metal restore. And that is pretty much everything that we can talk about with regards to cloud services in 15 minutes. It's been lovely talking to everyone this morning. If you need any more information, contact me at john.brennan@storagecraft.eu. You will get a message as well on the back of this webinar. You can use that address as well. I think it's StorageCraft webinars at storagecraft.eu as well. Or you can contact your account managers in the UK and so forth, and they will be able to give you more information on our cloud services. I know there's promos running on SPX licenses as well, which any new SPX licenses that we were giving away, premium support as well, 24/7 support. So talk to your account managers. There may be other, if you like, cloud related promos running as well that you may want to get involved in. So thank you very much for your time. This is John Brennan signing out, and have a good day. Bye for now.